ReZero, Season 4, Episode 7.
Julius はちゃんとここで傷が治るまで休んでること。絶対の絶対。
Even though this is scolding, it feels good. It feels like a little bit of a return to normalcy. You caused a lot of trouble for yourself. Good, we got him in our pocket, and that's how Julius became our underling. This is a big concept that I think comes up a lot for me, but this is just, I think, a great example of it. How, like, things hit you differently depending on someone's spirit and underlying motivation. So, like, somehow getting scolded by Amelia feels good, if you know what I mean. It's like, ah, all is right with the world. She cares about me. Yeah, that was a lot, but sure. Oh. Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
ユリウスのことをお願いね。もしもまた何か変なことがあったら私たちを呼んで。
Mustache got this. This is so wildly heartwarming. Putting aside the fact that we're gonna be babysit by a dinosaur, this is nice. Fair. It also doesn't mean this is the end of this whole engagement or the story. But you gotta approach this intelligently and not so emotionally. Physically. He's been through a lot, which he kind of like stomachs by himself. Not all of us are so charitable. I mean, Rem's life is potentially at stake, so. Yeah, we know. Okay, what's on your mind, Ram?
相手の情報を引きずり出して、その上で条件を満たしたから、かなり試験の突破条件は上ついてるわね。
I think there's sort of a human touch to this though, right? Like, we've established that the passing is kind of up to him, so that creates some wiggle room, right? There's an interpretive human touch to this challenge. I mean, I think you should do whatever you can to not try to brute force this guy. He beat Julius with a chopstick. Twice. We can't all live 400 years. Like you. You'd like that, wouldn't you? Right. You also could stay here and like not read any books in the library. We need to pass this exam as quickly as humanly possible and get out of here. This sounds like another one of those traps, you know? Like another what-if path. Subaru just decides to stay in the no-reading library and have fun with Shala. There's definitely some temptation here. A lesser man might fold in the library. The hell was that? That's not normal. Who's cooking? I feel like I'm onto Amelia. She never ever brings it up directly, but she always interrupts this sort of display. Maybe I'm projecting because, like, honestly, it makes me uncomfortable. Their cutesy act is overwhelming sometimes, but I feel like there is the potential, at least, for like a future reveal that'll make this look really obvious the whole time. Like, oh, actually, yeah, Amelia hates this. Like, she really hates these sort of displays. Doesn't know how to process it accurately, so she just has to interrupt it somehow. It's always Amelia interrupting, or often. Oh, that answers that. Okay, you guys cooked. Where does the food come from? I have so many questions. She hasn't eaten for 400 years. Asking the real questions. Oh, of course. Oh, that's why they're here. Did you eat like the centaur? Something to that. I was gonna say, at least you know where she stands and at least she's honest, but like, I don't think that's correct. Like, I think she's not really trustworthy. I think there's more coming with her. In fact, I don't trust her at all. I think she has a wanton disregard for human life. I don't think you want her on your bad side. I don't think you want to stand in front of her and what she wants. I think she has loyalty only to Subaru, and even that sort of like superficial loyalty, sort of how you're loyal to a super hot crush without any actual regard for them. You're just lusting after them. I can just vividly imagine Shala throwing Amelia in front of a bus, literally, at the first opportunity. But we'll see. Subaru, Betty はエミリアたちと一緒に竜舎にいるのよ。We have this whole place. Why are we sleeping in a carriage? Betty はこれ以上大きくなったりしないかしら。ずっと可愛いママなのよ。だから早く寝てもへっちゃらかしら。Just leave. Yeah. Subaru, 君か。It's a lot to think about. できればアナスタシア様が目覚めるそばで見守りたいのは事実だ。Thinking about this. It's big. I mean, like, he was called out for not being a proper knight, and hard to argue that you are in a situation like this when the person you're taking care of is this injured. I mean, she did sort of work herself up into a frenzy. Just intuitively, I feel like this is one of the big challenges of this moment for Julius. If you feel like something has gone horribly wrong and there's something you need to right, it's really hard to do nothing and sit around and wait. Like, I think the really nice flip side of that is in that sort of state of like emotional angst, often the best way forward is to take some sort of productive action, no matter how small. So you get the sense that, you know, life can always still improve. This isn't the permanent state of things. I still have power in my own life to shape things for the better. Oh, things aren't hopeless. Oh, this is just temporary. I see. Things can move. There's still like life flow. But the negative side of that, where that goes wrong, is sometimes the best thing to do is do nothing and wait. Sometimes that impulse betrays you because actually the solution is just not to touch it. Especially, I feel, in things with other people, like you've just crossed too many lines. You gotta just reset maybe. But you're so in pain, right? What are you supposed to do? Stomaching that is tough. I guess putting it that way, maybe the distinction is that you're trying to actionate some relief for yourself through things of which you actually don't have that much control or any control, right? Like, for example, someone else's feelings. Like if you've scorched earth with someone and you're like continuously reaching out to them, that often just makes it worse and you're digging yourself into an emotional hole. Why? Well, because you actually just never had any control of that person's feelings anyway. The better solution might be to make progress in a way that actually is localized to you. That's sort of a tangent, but just intuitively, I feel the pain of sitting in this room with his failures while looking at an unconscious Anastasia. But of course, to Subaru and Emilia's point, your role is to not do any more damage and to take care of yourself, your own health. Separately, I'm confused why Subaru was unconscious for 2 days. I feel like I missed something. Julius shocked. Right. So we've established, yeah. I guess it makes sense that there wouldn't be beds in the library. I don't know why I assumed that. Uh-oh. What's wrong, Pistrash? That's understandable. You can sleep at night. What the hell? Oh, this is a trap. No, don't follow that. Do not follow it. What does this remind me of? Someone's luring you away. Maybe Sleeping Beauty, right? Doesn't that happen in Sleeping Beauty? We need to get her to prick her finger. So I was gonna fall into a spell and only be awakened by the kiss of a handsome prince. This is such a like classic Disney trap, you know? Don't do this. Okay, well, I mean, I probably would. Oh, and you can open this almost certainly. Just try touching the wall. You're about to unlock a lot of miasma, I feel. Okay, and then into the looking glass he went. Subaru in Wonderland. Speaking of Disney. Oh, hi. I guess at least it's you. I think? Who knows? Speaking of lack of trust. You summoned me by pigeon? Why did you lure me here? Yeah. What's going on? She just consistently knows too much. Like she's been here before or something. For a change. Right. Of course. Well, I mean, maybe? I don't know. But like, that doesn't make it any better. Either she's luring him out here or they both got lured out here and both are concerning. Come to think of it, maybe that also was no coincidence, right? They're not just desert birds, but they were there deliberately to guide Subaru here. Oh, this actually, yeah, this is weird. I mean, who's watching? We have no idea. Ram could be watching this. Wow, yeah, just come to think of it, you can never really be sure someone isn't watching given the powers in the show. You just hope it's Otto. This is a fair question, yeah. Everything he does is a success, even the impossible. That's flattering. It's kind of funny from our perspective, but it makes sense from theirs. We know him as just like normal dude Subaru from Ministop, but like as far as they're concerned, this dude just showed up out of nothing from the ether and just completely changed the course of life as everyone knows it. Just crushing defeat after crushing defeat, collecting girls as trophies along his warpath, defeating one invincible Sin Archbishop after another. And like, what's his ultimate goal? Who knows? What can he do? And now you're here with him in this castle where it's hard to believe he has no connection to this, that it isn't him. And, you know, we're going through these trials that are potentially deadly. Shala is ready to knife anyone who steps out of line as soon as she can get away with it. That is suspicious though. Probably isn't, yeah. It's tough because actually this is true, he doesn't know, but it's highly suspicious. It's also suspicious that you would just gracefully concede to her.
王座を諦められない理由がある。そのはずれは心外だな。 It's kind of funny from our perspective, but it it's highly suspicious that you would just gracefully concede to her. 王座を諦められない理由がある。 望まれたからだ。
Oh, okay.
今の話はどういうことなんだ？
Oh no, oh no. Oh man, I forgot about this. As bad as things are going with Julius right now, there's also this horrible secret that Subaru, his friend, has been keeping from him. That really came around. That, I think, like a clear mistake on Subaru's part, just ethically and logistically, in that way that those things end up being the same thing in many cases.
この度から戻った後のことでちょこっと夏樹くんとお話ししてただけ。
I mean, everyone found this passage.
もうごまかすことも隠し立てすることも不可能
This is
だ。
another failure
すまで。
from Julius, potentially.
僕は
Let's not, okay, yeah, let's not try to do damage control. Let's just,
名前はエキドナ。
yeah.
僕がアナを演じることで今日までずっと過ごして
Another failure that Julius didn't know that.
僕がアナを演じていると見抜かれた。だから話したんだ。
関係の薄い。
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to take it this way, which is understandable.
一の騎士を辞任する男が
Right.
気づ
Man,
かずに
Julius
い
is
た
taking
と
some
いうこと
blows.
だ。
待てバカお前俺が気づいたのはなんかとにかくたまたまなんだよ
I mean, admittedly, it is kind of a failure. I don't know. Like, if someone was possessing someone I was really close to, I feel like I would probably know. This is sort of like out of the scope of what I understand. But if I was going to try to attach some human thing to it that is understandable, there is a certain type of obsession or worship that clouds your judgment. Generally, it's when we're the most relaxed and the most comfortable around people that, the information sort of comes in freely. This is maybe part of what is meant by that idea of like, you're too close to it. Subaru, is just chilling. Subaru just doing Subaru stuff. And Anastasia's just Anastasia. It's not like she's Amelia, who I feel like Subaru actually does miss stuff from. But Julius is like all about Anastasia all the time. It is sort of understandable how you could miss it. But it is a failure. Or like, absolutely that's how I would feel about it. There's just multiple things going wrong here. But thankfully, it couldn't have happened at a better time for Julius, who right now is in a great place. He's on the heels of back-to-back consecutive victories and successes. Is universally loved and remembered by the world. So I'm sure I'll just shake this one off. And it's sort of just another nail in the coffin of Subaru's freedom being better than him, Just instinctively, if there's any explanation for why Subaru got it and not Julius, it is maybe that exact freedom. Maybe I am just a lackey, Maybe I deserve that title.
何
Time to hand in my night card.
だったらそんな面倒な肩書き
捨ててしまう。
Oh no, he called the title thing stupid in a moment as sensitive as this.
私から何
Yeah,
か
that's
一つ取りこぼ
in
す
his mind, that's all he has is his title.
話を
That title's taking a lot of abuse right now.
駅だな。あなたの目的は
Speaking of like having something to do,
どうしてあなたはアナスタシア様のためにそこまででき
I
る
also would like to know, yeah, it's sort of,
僕はアナが好きなんだ。
oh.
この子がまだ幼かった頃からずっとそばにいた。
Well, I guess that makes us allies.
僕の理由だ。君が理性的に
Julius
判
liked
断してくれて嬉しいよ。
Well, you're not gonna like stab your sword through Anastasia's neck to save Anastasia.
なぜ2層であんな無茶な真似をし
Yeah,
た
that
の
was a weird moment. I thought it was actually Anastasia for a second. Like, why would she go out of her way for Julius like that? More secrets.
すまなかった。
Uh huh.
あれ
Why
は
though?
僕も失敗だったと。
Yeah, but why?
下手をすれば君という戦力を失いかねなかったわけだ。それは避けたかった。無論、
I-
アナのためにも。
Okay, maybe it's this, but I
わ
feel
かっ
like
た。
there might be more than that. It didn't seem like a logical, strategic decision.
今ので納得できんのか
We maybe don't have the prior knowledge and experience of beings named Echidna. You gotta like be a little bit less quick to take things at their word. I mean, we love Echidna. She's the greatest, smart, elegant, beautiful, etc. But part of the fun of the intrigue is that there's more than meets the eye. So you gotta like stay on your toes to a certain extent. And yeah, what I was about to say, it didn't seem at all like that outburst came from like a well thought out, logical chess move type decision, right? Like she just lost control and then almost died for Julius. So my guess is that Julius is extremely important for something for Anastasia, on which Foxina's plan hinges. Or there's something else, like, I don't know, some relationship or connection to Julius. It might be one of those things where the best lies the truth, It was a strategic decision, but for deeply emotional reasons. Reasons bigger than she's admitting.
俺の勝手だろうが
そして君が受け止め、私に私の問題を受け止めさせまいと、アナスタシア様とエキドナのことを語らずにいたように。
Fair.
すまない。言葉が過ぎた。
It's correct, though.
だが事実だ。
Yes.
長居する理由ももはやない。
Man.
中に戻ろう。
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him for feeling betrayed about that. It's a tough one. I feel like this comes up a lot. I mean, it recently came up in Invincible. I think there's a very easy pitfall and strong temptation to think that you're helping someone by omitting things that pertains to them that they would want to know because you think it's best for them. He's not ready to handle this. He's going through a lot right now. This will destroy him. Anecdotally, personally, I just want to know. Like, I'd always want to know. I don't think the measure of right or wrong is necessarily pain. I think that sometimes pain is right. There are just higher ideals than pain and pleasure. Those are not goals in themselves. Those are just sort of like like lagging indicators of things going right or wrong. But the point is more like just trying to push ourselves towards the right. And like for that, we need the truth. If your hand's on a stove, the solution isn't to turn off your pain receptors. It's like you actually should probably know that your hand's on the stove so you could like take it off the stove. I really value making my own choices and living and dying by my own mistakes and trying to navigate my own life as best I can. And I want as many tools as possible to do that. And I think the truth is always a good thing, or it's always a tool in that capacity. Because it just is what it is, right? It's better I work with the most accurate map of reality I can than like, you know, maybe feel a little better, assuming I even feel better, right? Like that's a temporary solution. Because if those things come out later, anyway, I'll potentially feel much worse and be in a much worse state to navigate. There's also, I think, something a little bit arrogant about it, right? Like who gets to decide? Who appointed you my emotional manager or my life manager? You know better. You can handle this information. You know where my life should go better than I do. I don't think that's true. And anyway, I think there are sort of intermediate steps there if you're worried about someone's well-being, but also want to tell them the truth. Like you can ask them, if I knew something that would really hurt you, would you want to know it? Would you want me to tell you? And like maybe the instinct there is like, well, they're just going to say yes, even though it's going to harm them because they can't help themselves. But that kind of begs the question, right? If they want to know, if they choose to know, maybe that's just their right. I'm just mixing categories all over the place here, but also more broadly philosophically, I don't think the truth itself can ever be bad. Like it just is what it is. Part of the arrogance is thinking that we can make things better by pretending they are things they aren't. We just overlook the reality, sort of wish a problem away because it's unpleasant or inconvenient. But what that does is it like piles layers on top of the problem, because now we can't even get to the issue. We can't even look at it to fix it because we have to deal with the lies we've built on top of it. And if this is anything that involves multiple people or you know, society, we're now fighting this battle across something that's completely manufactured and imaginary, and we'll tear each other apart for it. And like, we're not even talking about the actual thing yet. That's not necessarily to say that you have to say everything. I'm also a big supporter of honoring someone's secrets, right? But I think there is sort of a hard to pin down but important line somewhere based on how much it pertains to the person in question. Poor Julius. He's been forgotten by everyone in the entire world except for Subaru, who, you know, thank God for Subaru. You know, thank God Subaru remembers me, but oops, Subaru doesn't even like think I can handle my own information about my own life. Can't even know about my own knighthood stuff. He has that little respect for me.
アナスタシア様のお体とエキドナのことは明日改めてエミリア様たちにもお話ししなければ。
No more
分かっ
lies.
たよ。
Secrets and
僕も
lies.
覚悟はしておこう。
Well, these two are fast friends.
俺に何か言いたいことねえのかよ。
Maybe this is projection. I mean, he does, right? But Subaru also probably carrying some guilt here.
悪意があるはずもない。
A charitable
ある
reading
のは
would be
配
big of
慮と
him.
心遣いだけだ。
Yeah.
仮に逆の立場であっても、やはり私は君に黙っていただろう。
And you would have been offended. You may have been hurt.
私はアナスタシア様にも、君にも、騎士タリエヌなどと思われ
Yeah,
た
it's like you
くな
think
か
that
った
little of me? You know, you can't think I can handle this information. It's just information. What am I doing? I'm going to buckle. I'm going to fold. I'm that weak. This is your actual opinion of me. You have to manage my emotions and manage my life. Like, who are you? Is that really love? Does that not betray a little bit of scorn, you know, that you see me as so incapable of the truth, you know? There's a part of me that's kind of glad that Subaru didn't get away with that, because I do feel like that was an important character thing. Subaru's come a long way. I think he's a great guy. And there's a certain amount of it that's reasonable for him because he has just so much momentum here of like, actually, he's the one managing things. Right? Like he has to manage the world because he has this unique power. So I understand being in that mode, right? But there is a very fine line that he does a great job of, actually. It's just like occasional lapses where like you don't want to start seeing actual people as the means to your end. We're not pawns in this. There's sort of like a drift from the importance and humanity there.
こんな時間まで何してんだ。
いやらしい。
ノータイムで。
What? Out of nowhere.
随分としょぼくれてるようだけど。
I got caught
シリウスと
lying
喧嘩で
to a
もしたの
friend,
か
sort
し
of.
ら。
That was very directed on the nose.
そんな
How'd you know that? Oh, she's watching. She's watching through the birds. You saw it.
なんでもなく
She
は
just told
ない
it
んだ
herself.
多分明日になったらちゃんと話せ。
ひたすら思わせぶりな発言ね。
Don't you dare try to do to me what you did to Julius. I mean, what you maybe did to Julius, because I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm not a pawn in your information game, Subaru.
おやすみ姉様。
ラムはバルスの姉様じゃないわよ。その呼び方やめなさい。
Okay. She's extra surly today.
どうしたもんか。
Subaru feeling kind of homeless right now.
攻略法でも考えるとすっかな。
Why don't you go fight Reed? That'll take your mind off things. I don't know what it is, but don't do it. Don't.
そうだ。
Uh-oh. Is that the pathway to Reed?
え
What did you do?
え
You look guilty. Why you look so guilty?
すごく心配したんだ。
Why?
エミリア、もっときつく言って。
What did he do? Oh no, he messed up again. He tried to solve a mistake with another mistake again.
異世界召喚ってやつ。
What? Excuse me? Walking out of a convenience store and into another world. I think you misspelled mini stop. I need the post-credit scene for some hope at piecing this together. There's no end credit scene. Just Shala throwing the books again. Okay. This is weird. So either this is some gambit to try to get around the fact that he can't explain things, but like, why would he suddenly need to explain stuff? We sort of gave up on that. Why now? Why in the face of Reed? Or he like lost his memory somehow by running up those stairs, which is kind of concerning. But I mean, I feel like probably better left to the next episode. The real interesting thing about this episode for me was the Julius discovery. They are just a great match for each other in so many ways. And I think that right now, in terms of kind of the balance of who's getting what from whom, it had shifted towards Subaru a lot, right? Like we had this whole reveal last time of Julius always respected this element of Subaru, this free-spirited nature of him, and that's why he stepped in and saved him from execution, etc. And he's been harboring these feelings of appreciation all this time, and he wishes he could let loose and have this sort of spontaneity, which seems to also provide Subaru with clearer vision. And Subaru sort of made up his own title. Julius, that's all he has. He was really fixated on the title thing, and that's kind of stale. Reed's kicking his ass for that. But I think in this episode, there's something that is not being made super explicit. It might come up later, where Julius really has something that I think Subaru needs. And the big part of that is like, Julius would never, he would never keep that from Subaru. He said he would, but I don't think he would. I think he sort of has this code, right? Like, you don't violate this code. We're not like finagling people. We're not being pragmatic. We are holding ourselves to a very high ideal. And like, Julius's ideal maybe is too rigid is the problem. And he hasn't quite like hit the mark, right? It's not his title. It's not his rank. There's something much deeper than that, which actually he already has in spades, but isn't necessarily super conscious of that. It's what everyone, I think, sees in Julius. I don't think any observer really cares that much about Julius Julio, best boy of the Lucidia Knights. I don't know. We like Julius because he's Julius and he's honorable and capable and you trust him. So I'm really glad they didn't let that slip. Like when that happened in the desert scene early in the season, it felt like a mistake to me, especially with like Foxidna, right? To see that come around, I'm excited to see how that gets resolved and what sort of explorations that leads to.